I View Blues. By coincidence, it was the very first poem that I hand set and printed letterpress in 1991. And I've just realised it's 20 years I've been doing letterpress printing this coming September. And we'll have a little festival, I hope, with the other We're very lucky around this district. In Stonehouse, there are 3 letterpress printers. John Grice of Evergreen Press and Gloucester Typesetters, Stan, who still does typesetting on the hot metal machine, the casting machine, for the Folio Society, for all their books. And he's one of only 2 people in England, Britain, that can use these hot metal casting machines, because the lead is bubbling away on a little gas fire at the bottom of the machine, and it's sucked up by hot air into the casting machine, and somehow, miraculously, it goes to this machine without breaking down, goes into the matrix, which is the sort of alphabet, the particular font, the particular size, and then comes out a little bit later as a line of type, and it carries on working for hours, and you'd assume after 5 minutes, or I would, that it would break down. But these casting machines, and the 2 companies were Monotype and Linotype, and there is a Monotype museum in South London. But anyway, in Stonehouse and Bonds Mill is Stan, who does this, and John Grice of Evergreen Press, and there's a young person who worked with Whittington Press with John Randall near Cheltenham. And John Randall is the letterpress man, one of the people in the world who publishes Matrix Annual, which is sort of Bible of letterpress, and encourages all the other people. Anyway, that's a digression. This is totally different, and it's one more poem to finish with. It's lovely celebrating the work of people like Adrian Mitchell and Charles Causley. And recently it was Lawrence Ferlinghetti's 92nd birthday. You know, he founded City Lights bookshop in San Francisco and City Lights Pocket Poets, and a fine poet himself, published mainly by New Directions in America. And I'd like to dedicate this poem to him. He's still alive and well and publishing in San Francisco. And he published some of my favourite American writers, Kenneth Patchen, Kenneth Rexroth, and many, many more. And this is one I wrote the day after the death of Henry Miller. Most people in England don't know Henry Miller because of the Tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, but he wrote brilliant essays. They're really, I would describe them like Buddhist essays. And he wrote a lot more. You know, he lived in Paris for a long time. He was a friend of Anais Nin, who he encouraged to write and to write her journals. And she's written 8-10 volumes of her diaries, her journals, encouraged by Henry Miller. And he was a great catalyst in himself. And he ought to be better known in Europe. I mean, he is very well known, of course, but mainly for the tropics. But he wrote amazing, there's a wonderful collection called Stand Still Like the Hummingbird of his essays, and many, many more. But this I wrote the day after I heard he died. I was up in Durham, and I opened the Times of all papers, and the whole obituary page of the Times was dedicated to Henry Miller, which at the time, this is 1980, which was extraordinary, which he deserved, of course. Anyway, this is for Henry Miller, 1892 to 1980, and for Stand Still Like the Hummingbird and other books. Life spanning childhood before the 20th century began, leaves floating downstream on the River Wear, petals drifting earthwards in Durham Cathedral Square. Sanctuary knocker tied and gagged on the cathedral door, and Her Majesty's prison just down the road, medieval maximum security, Catholic theological ideologies, medieval maximum security. And college seminaries for insecure dreams, industrial enterprises for money-making schemes, inspirational architecture and neighbourhood personality, feminine attitude open intuitively. 1,000 years official history contradicted by unknown myths of labourers and miners' instinctive ability to survive, of child labourers and women miners' instinctive ability to survive. And all our lives suspended by earthly threads, torn by fallout, 2,4,5-T dioxin, plutonium and individual fragility. And he, Henry Miller, always merry and bright, street jester of philosophy, poured out his story. Fables of childhood streets, of city devils, fulsome accounts of sexual strife and sensual delights, and copperplate etchings of city landscapes. And the Colossus of Marousi, about Greece and the Greek people, created in words on paper from a lover of our pretty and dirty world. This world in all its shame and glory, and all its wealth and poverty, its love and hatred. This world with its human-hearted tears and its human-hearted joys, and with its red alert and Agent Orange and its blind militias. This world with its lovers' meetings and its friendships blossomings, and children kissing children, kissing children, kissing children. Henry Miller. Thank you.